Hello everyone. We are starting in Canvas, and we're going to activity 5.2a. We're going to click on this second file here, required inventor file. We're just going to click on that, and you see instances show up at the bottom. I'm going to click once, and by opening that file, it should open Inventor. There it is. It's popping up. Mine may load a little bit quicker than yours simply because I've run it already this morning. So hopefully it's in the buffer. Yours may take a little bit longer to load. It's not too bad, loaded pretty quickly. You may hear the foster puppies in the background. They have been put in their crate and they're none too happy about it. Okay, so for this activity, we're going to focus on our geometric constraints, how we force shapes to do certain things like we would in a geometry class, parallel, perpendicular, tangent, those kinds of things. So we're going to have to edit this page right here. Currently, if I hover, it's all in red. That means I cannot edit. But if I come over to the far side on the left where the browser is, I can click the icon, the little pencil icon next to Sketch 1. And that double click there, and it turns everything blue. Now I can edit. So the first one says make perpendicular. We choose the perpendicular tool right here. Looks like perpendicular. And then I click on the two lines. It's that simple. They're now perpendicular. We go to the next question. Make all three lines parallel. Well, this is perpendicular. This one's parallel. And I click on two lines. Now they're parallel. I click on the third line and back to number 2. Now they're all parallel. You can only do 2 at a time. All right, the next one, dimension circle number 3 to 2 inches. So that's this one right here. My dimension tool is here. So we're going to dimension that. Use that dimension tool. We're going to set it at 2 inches. And then we're going to use tangent tool. Oh, I missed a spot in the instructions. Fix circles 1 and 2. Fix circles 1 and 2. So fix is this padlock right here. We're going to click on this and circle 1. Now it can't be moved. It can be resized, but it cannot move from that center. And then we're going to click on circle 2. And now both of them are fixed in place. This is the right size. So let's move to the final part. Make circle 3 tangent to 1 and 2. So here's your tangent button. For those that haven't had geometry, tangent means touching a line, or a circle touching a circle, or a circle touching a line in exactly 1 point. If it's cutting across 2 points, we call that a chord, or we call that, I think it's a secant technically, but if it's just cutting in 2 places, that's not tangency. Tangency is going to be, watch this, 1 place. So it's moved. So at the microscopic level, you zoomed all the way in, at a microscopic level, they're touching in exactly 1 point. And now we got to do the same thing for circle 2 versus 3. All right. It moved circle 2. It moved circle 3 so that they could be in place. Sometimes you do it, and instead of moving circle 3, it actually makes circle 2 smaller. It depends on the order in which you click the circles. Doesn't matter. The idea is they touch in exactly 1 point. All right, make circle tangent to both lines. So now we're going to use the tangent key again, and this time we're going to click circle line and then circle line. And now it's tangent to both of them. Doesn't matter what size it is. Maybe the circle got bigger, maybe the circle got smaller. Doesn't really matter. Line 2 here. Fix point C. So fix is the padlock. First of all, I want to make the letters line up with the center of the circle. So I'm using the coincident constraint so that my letter becomes the center point. The same thing for B. I want B to become the end point. And I want A to become the end point. So now those labels are actually attached to those lines. Fix point C, and that's the very first instruction, padlock point C. Now, when I do coincident, the circle won't move, but the lines will. They'll jump to lining up on top of each other. That's what I want. Make circles concentric. Con means with, or co means sharing. Center, centric is center. So here's the concentric circle button. We click that, and then we click 2 circles. And now they share the same center point. And then we click the 3rd circle. And now all of the center points are lined up. That's a very useful tool when you're making round objects. Can you imagine extruding this into a cup or something like that? That's very useful. Make lines collinear. So here's the collinear tool. Co means share. Linear means line. Share the same line. They're lined up. Make these lines horizontal. When you click the horizontal button and you come to hover, you're going to see a dotted line going across. That dotted line tells me that I'm going to make my line parallel to the dotted line. If I click vertical and I hover, look what's happening. It's going to turn these lines in the Y direction. It's going to turn the lines vertical. We want horizontal for this one. So I'm going to click here on that line. I'm going to click here on that line. Now they're both perfectly horizontal, which means they're parallel to the x-axis. Make lines vertical. Change it to the vertical tool and click each line. They're now parallel to the y-axis. Make an equilateral triangle. Equilateral. Equal sides. So all of these sides need to be the same. It doesn't say what they should be. Pick a side. It doesn't matter. So find the equal button up here. It looks like an equal sign. It's right here. So we're going to click on each side. And now those two are the same size. We call that an isosceles triangle, correct? And now we're going to click on the 3rd. And now we have equilateral. That's a useful tool as well when you're trying to get some specific geometric shapes. Or just making sure that figures are the same size. Make the circles the same size. Well, equal, right? Just put them equal. Now they're the same size. Doesn't matter about overlap. The final one. Line up the centers of the circles on the same horizontal plane. So that means I need to have these center points lined up in a row. So I think horizontal is the key word there. So we're going to use a horizontal constraint again. I'm going to double check. Yeah. So here and then here. It moved. Awesome. And then there. So now the 3 center points are lined up in the same horizontal plane. And those are your geometry tools. Okay, well, that's it. Seriously, that's all you had to do. You just have to get used to how to use these geometric constraints. It will help you in your sketching in the future. Let's save what we have. Finish sketch. Finish sketch. Go to File, Save As. And right now it says 5.2a. So you know what? I think I'm going to just change it to 5.2a, 5-2 completed. And then I'm going to save it to my desktop. You can save it to the cloud, however you want to do it. Now, that is simply the Inventor file. But to upload it to Canvas, you need to export it as a PDF. Anytime I ask you to put a file from from Inventor and submit it through Canvas, it needs to be exported as a PDF. I'm only going to ask you to do that with drawing sheets. This is a drawing sheet. So go up to File, Export PDF, and File 5-2 completed. There it is. And I believe I'm done. So make sure you're choosing the PDF file. All right. Well, that's all for this lesson. And I encourage you to play around with Inventor, hone those Inventor skills, just do some quick sketches and some extrusions just to kind of get used to the tool set. There'll be more videos coming and more activities using Inventor.